looking for an influencer to pay a lot of money to. So I used to work in tourism for the state of Arkansas, and they would find, large YouTubers to come in, and travel bloggers or bicycle riders, and, but they had to have these super high numbers because we were working through an agency out of New York. So, it just depends on where you want to enter in this game at, right? So, and at the end of the day, everybody has to, at the higher level, they're going to want numbers because they're not going to take the time to watch you. They don't, whatever. What are your numbers? That's just how the conversation starts.
I love it.
And the other thing I would say for especially people who are just starting out their streaming kind of journey, and that they, everybody wants to make money, and I get that. My thing is the stuff that you're getting for Facebook Reels and YouTube and all that stuff. To me, that's icing on the cake, because that could always go away. They can change their stuff in a heartbeat. Tomorrow, they can say, we're done with this program, or we're gonna pay this and not pay these people or whatever. And so I always don't build your house on rented land. Like this show and my show, there's other things that we own. We get them on our email list. We bring them, listen to a podcast that we own, that we can advertise our own stuff on or whatever. To me, this stuff is gravy, and I always get nervous when people say yeah, I'm making all this money from this. And I've known a lot of people who had great Amazon stores where Amazon just went, nah, we're going to make that product now, and we're not going to highlight yours anymore. And they were, up the creek. And so just keep this in mind, that this stuff, when I'm talking about the Facebook Reels and all this stuff, that's great. That's icing on the cake. I would rather have sponsors and my own program and putting them on my list where I'm in charge of it than some of the, the fast stuff that we see all the influencers talking about, on TikTok or whatever.
I love it. That's great advice. Great advice.
Mixer. Like the example.
Right. Because
Mixer
it can
who?
happen.
Mixer what?
Exactly.
It can happen.
Well, that's one of the things everybody has to work on your brand, right? Whether it's your personal brand, the show brand, you own the brand, right? So that's going to translate to podcast, to print, to be getting speaker gigs or whatever. Work on your personal brand, own your brand. And, you're never, as long as you're always pushing that forward, then, if anything changes, you're still you, right?
That's
so I think that's,
Brant.
Own
your brand.
Well, it's so important. I get frustrated because people talk about, let me help you with your personal brand. You gotta live the brand. You gotta really, I've worked as a marketing director. I've consult companies that just very big companies that lost their brand. They lost the tech guy they fired had all their Instagram or had their URL address, and they lost the name. I mean, I've seen this happen a lot, so some of the new people starting out don't know that you got to own those things and keep up with your brand.